All right, everybody. We are starting a podcast that we don't even know the name of
And there you go.
yet. I guess we'll call it. That's,
She provides the music.
that's the name of it. Well, a lot of people.
Right on time, right? Let's pause this and we'll start over.
We gonna let people hear. Be like, look. So, a lot of people have requested that my wife and I um, get back in the flow of, just talking about our life, giving tips, advice, maybe some wisdom, especially now that y'all have heard our new little addition to our family. And I guess the best way to kick this off is for those who don't know, my name is Jason. Um, the little one you hear in the back, this is yes, Nasaya. And of course, my lovely lady next to me is the queen from Benin, the Goj of all things, Miss Seneca. You know what I'm saying out here on the day to day. So, kicking this thing off, my wife asked a wonderful question to me while we're watching the playoffs. Detroit is in the playoffs. I'm from Detroit, so but we still.
Yes, we are watching the Lions game, and by we are watching, I mean he's watching, and I'm complaining about all the reason why I'm not a big fan. But if I had to pick a team that I'm a fan of, by default, I'm the Lions fan because, well, my husband is from Detroit. He's a Lions fan, and I don't really care for any other team. So might as well love the Lions by association. So there we go.
So clearly we love that Detroit Honolulu blue in this house. But she posed a great question to me a little bit earlier while we were eating. She said, now that the first month is pretty much almost came and gone for our little one, what are some things that you, oh, she said, how do you feel like you did? Do you feel you did good, uh, bad, or in between? And me being the person that I am, having a personality type that I did, I, I couldn't give her a straight answer. What I told her was
I almost
the
never get one of those.
the more elegant answer, and that's the difference between her and my personality. Like she'll give you a straight answer all day. It'll be
When there is, you will get it.
very simple, straight, black and white,
Mm-hmm.
yes or no. Me, I'm more philosophical with it. I'll
Boy.
take more time to think about it or whatever. So, in typical Jason fashion, what I told her was, um, it. I can't really say yes or no until we get another child. Now we are planning on having another child 2 years from now, or however the Lord decides. We'll see. But 2 years is our goal. Um, and I told her, what I can say is some of the things that I feel I will have a better grasp upon when that next baby gets here, boy or girl. And some of those things just to jot down the list for me because I didn't get to get her list because we just, how sometimes you're in conversation, you're just flowing and hopping from thing to thing. What I said was number one, I would try and prepare as much as I could for those first 2 weeks of basically you're just not going to go to sleep. You're just not to. And I mean, we said this a lot when we were doing it. We take our hats off. We, kiss our mom's feet because both of them were single moms. Raising us, so we can imagine. The first 2 weeks, and you're just like, yeah. Why did I do this? So that would be the big thing I told her. I said the next thing would be uh, really honing in on the methods of how to soothe the baby, especially a newborn, because and it's just one of our friends who kind of became family brought up an interesting point about the fourth trimester, right? And that was the first time I'd ever heard it. I don't know if that was the same for Senna, but that was the first time I ever heard it about your baby when they first come out of the womb, they still in some aspects don't know that they're here. in reality.
Outside of the womb.
Yeah, outside of the womb. You know what I mean? So, to them, it's very important that you take that concept and that mindset of, all right, I may have to, walk around with this baby attached to me, skin to skin, especially for moms or dad. I may have to, just be more active, more present than I have been. If you haven't before, all those different things.
Sort of try to recreate the environment of the
Mm,
womb is what
mm,
we found that helps a lot of
mm,
time with and I mean people have said it before. It's as far as the things that we found help, it's not foreign. Like okay, a moving car will help soothe them
mm,
generally. When you're wearing them or holding them and walking around, they like that more than when you're
mm,
sitting down because again as a pregnant woman, most pregnant women are walking around unless unfortunately towards the third trimester you're bed bound. But even so, you're walking around for the most part doing things. So they're used to that motion,
mm,
sound like white noise because of the womb is not quiet, right? Your
mm,
other organs are still doing their job, and they interact with that same environment as your baby is. So it's not unheard of, it's not things we haven't heard of, but it's just it I guess we didn't think of it right
mm,
off the bat,
mm,
and it took us some time to be like, oh,
mm,
let's try this, let's try that, and
mm,
hear it again as a recommendation
mm,
from other experienced parents or
mm.
YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was the king of YouTube before
Oh
we had a
boy.
baby, but I will say this, if you're a visual learner like myself, it really does help,
Mm,
especially in the clutch. I'll tell you guys one story. So we were going for a first appointment, and
mm-hmm.
me and Senna were, we weren't at odds with each other, but we were definitely sleep deprived.
Yep.
And when you're deprived of anything, if you've never kind of been in that situation before, your capacity. I know everybody loves the word bandwidth now, but your capacity is very limited
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
the slightest thing, and you don't mean to,
Mm-hmm.
but we were very cross with each other on the ride over to the to the hospital.
Yeah. Because she
And
had been attached to us.
mm-hmm,
This was 3 days after we were released from the hospital.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And for the last 24 hours, pretty much 48 hours.
72
Yeah,
hours.
essentially. She's been attached to us, right?
Mm-hmm,
And for some reason, that first 24 hour, I think it was the high from, oh, we just had a baby,
mm-hmm, the
was
adrenaline.
still
Yeah.
very high. But the 24 hours before that appointment was very rough. Like we couldn't sleep, and especially me, because she was, not only did she want a warm like chest to sleep on, which means whomever chest she was using was not able to lay down and sleep,
Mm-hmm,
but she wanted to breastfeed for comfort, which
mm-hmm,
means we couldn't do the whole okay, let's switch up a little bit thing. So we were
mm-hmm,
just we're off. And she was, even when we were doing that on the daytime, she wasn't calm, right? She wasn't soothed. So it was like we really were at a point, a few hours, essentially like a good 12 hours before that appointment, where we couldn't soothe her, and she
mm-hmm,
was crying, and we were just like, bruh.
mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
and it
Mm-hmm.
was just a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, literally, my wife tells. I mean, all three of us were crying,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
literally, I found for the new parents out there, I found the underhand uh, rocking method,
Mm-hmm.
and she stopped crying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to this day,
Mm-hmm.
it has not worked since.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm. That's
I
weird.
guess God, Holy Spirit, Jesus, whatever you believe
The
in,
ancestors.
exactly. It was just
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, we'll give you the win for the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because we just needed it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just I think it was a tough moment, but it really, in my opinion, defines us as a family. So I wasn't surprised that we made it through because I like to think we just have natural grit. Anybody that knows us, we just kind of have that. We gonna push
We
hard
gonna
times
find
like,
a way.
yeah, we just gonna push hard times like weight. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just the
Yeah.
quality of our family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
even though we didn't understand it right away or how to soothe her right away. And me and my wife, we both hate when the baby cries. You know what I'm saying? Like we just, we can't say. I mean, we
And
know
I'm sure
sometimes.
you can agree with that for those parents or even non-parents who've heard, who love kids out there. It's just you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you don't want to. And I mean, what I will say, and I'm sure, Senna can chime in on this. You start to learn what the different cries mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you hungry? Are you sleepy?
Mm-hmm. Do you need? Well, usually they don't cry when they need a diaper change.
Right.
But maybe when sometimes they will cry when they are pooping. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, I guess it's not a comfortable act for them. Mm-hmm. But if they won't cry like, oh, my diaper is soiled, let me cry. Like, nah, it's warm, they're cozy. So you have to be diligent about checking. That is the one need that they won't cry about, oddly enough.
Especially if you got a baby girl.
Yeah, she's like, I'm Gucci. I'm good.
You gotta, I call it her cooter booter. You gotta make sure that's...
Yeah, we don't want to deal with that, right? At least preventing and reduce the risk as much as possible. But that was a moment. I think that was perhaps our lowest newborn parent moment where we were in the doctor's waiting room, and because she was crying so hard and I was so frustrated, I started crying, and dad started crying, and it was just like, okay, we gotta it was like a family crying moment. But in the midst of it all, he found that underhand movement and started using it on her, and that helped us, until the doctor came, and throughout that whole day, really. But oddly enough, ever since, it hadn't really worked for her. That was the one time she was like, I'll give you the W this time. But don't get used to it. You're going to have to keep getting creative. Thanks, Nissa.
Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful thing, to pick up on. My wife said, you gotta be creative. I'll say this. I've always been the more creative one out of the two of us. You know what I'm saying? To lean into that. Mm-hmm. Not saying that my wife doesn't have creativity. Everybody has it.
But you're easier. You're expressing more.
Right,
I'm not really good at expressing my creativity.
I express a little bit more. So yesterday, just to give y'all another example, me and my wife, we both locked our hair, right? And sometimes you got to do your touch-ups and your maintenance. And my wife has a lot of hair. Right.
I do. That's why Nisaya has a little more hair.
Right. I got hair too. But anyway.
I know, but of the two of us.
Yes, clearly. if y'all see an old photo of her with her
my afro,
which I love, but my wife is so let me super dummy yummy side.
Oh gosh.
She's so low maintenance, which I appreciate.
I am very low maintenance.
That is just like on the days where she want to get all jazzy and be like, "Ooh, look at me, I'm being sassy," which is sexy classy.
Sexy classy.
It's like, really, you are. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just funny to see the opposites, because I'm very
you want to do extra. You're extra.
I'm preppy. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much
you upper crust.
Yeah,
if you ever watch Ali Siddiq's stand-ups, and if you haven't, check them out. He's one of our favorite comedians. Yeah. But that's from his stand-up.
Yeah,
upper crust.
Definitely upper crust.
Yes.
We don't know what type of crust Nasaya will be, but she's currently smiling right now. So
sleeping.
Like y'all talking about something. Mm-hmm. What I will say, going back to the story, was mom has to get her hairs or her locks retwisted and things like that. And so the good thing was we had been breastfeeding, and we decided that we're going to breastfeed at least for 6 months, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep her on that program, because, we just feel that the breast is best. Now,
the breast is best. I like that. I need a t-shirt.
It was good because she left, she had just ate before she left, and she was asleep. When she sleep, I always, I just, even before I was a parent, I just always thought about, oh man, it's going to be cool to just have the baby sleep and things like that. So majority of the time, I'm pretty much doing skin to skin time with her. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday, we didn't initially start out that way because we had just went to our neighborhood meeting and things like that or whatever. But she started to wake up, and she was crying. I had the bottle and stuff like that or whatever, and she took it for a little bit, but I don't think she took it
as well as she does with the breast.
yeah, as well as she does with the breast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because she's with mom, and things like that. But what I did to for all the dads out there or the moms who unfortunately may not be able to produce their own milk, and just want to soothe their baby in a way, what I did was, Nasaya, she likes music. What I'm saying? Like, she likes music, she likes to move around, and she likes when you talk to her, right? So I just said, well, if I'm doing music, I can just sing to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's talking, I'm right, very close to her, face and things like that, so she can see it and everything like that. And
That's how y'all make it.
yeah, that's literally how we made it through.
So I came home. So as he said, we went to our neighborhood meeting, and she was all nice and dressed and cozy. And then we came home after the meeting, and I gathered my stuff and went for my hair appointment, right? To my loctician. In case you didn't know, people who do locks are called loctician. I didn't know that until I started my lock journey. So that's a fun fact. Anywho, I gathered my stuff and went. And so, but when I came back home, this is a scene. So Jason is holding her. She's wide awake, quiet, calm, chilling. Jason is naked upward. Is that the word? Like he has no shirt on, right? So bare chested, and all my hard work of putting Nisaya in a nice, cute little outfit. The outfit is down, right? She's in her diapers.
She did spit up on it, by the way.
Oh, she spit up. So you didn't just take it out,
No.
Okay, thank
you. I had to throw that in.
And
I
didn't get a picture because I was like, man, did you get a picture? He's like, no. I was like, it's okay. You got the job done. The job was to keep her alive and soothe her. You did that. So yeah, that was a scene. I came home, there was music playing and the living room TV, and he was up holding her, and they were dancing. That was, and he was singing to her. That was a scene, and she was calm as rain, if you like rain, and if rain comes you down, then great. Yeah. And I took her and changed her diaper and all of that, and she was calm throughout the whole thing. It took her like another 30 minutes or so of before she started remembering. Oh yeah, remember that breast? I want it back. Because remember, breast is best. But that was the longest you've spent. No, that's the first time you were home by yourself with her, right? Yeah. Without me. So that was a milestone in y'all's relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and I was talking to Senna before we got on here. One thing I do is, even though I know she can't necessarily communicate with us in English or one of the other languages that we speak, I still talk to her as if she can. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I know she knows my voice, but I want her to know and feel safe and secure that even if mom isn't there, all right, dad'll do what dad does.
That's gonna get the job done.
Yeah, dad's gonna get the job done. And I mean, again, for the fathers out there, it felt good to have that accomplishment. Like, yo, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can show mommy, that we can work together when she's not here. Because again,
if I had a sticker, I would have given it to both of you.
Yeah, I would definitely take it. Because I mean, I can only imagine, and I know Senna can speak on it more so than I can. Mom, you guys have an attachment from the baby from the moment of conception. And you spend that time, and you just grow that bond. Dads, we have to put in that work. Not saying that we don't have it, if you're there day to day throughout the pregnancy and everything like that.
It's not the same.
Right. It's not the same, because I know Senna would tell me, hey, when you come home, from work, she knows your voice. She's a little bit more active. She's a little bit more, hi, daddy's home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, she'd start to kick a little bit more.
I mean, even when she was in the womb, like, whenever you you're around when you're talking,
Mm-hmm.
and like you touched my abdomen, I felt like she was more active around
Mm-hmm.
that time. But that may just be my, me, but that's what I felt like. But if you have, as two parents, two different equipments, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak, you have different ways of caring for her.
And I think that's an important point to put out there. If you are in
A two-parent household.
no, not just a two-parent household, but a traditional marriage,
Uh-huh.
traditional family,
Mhm.
you do have different equipment, to work with, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, uh, a lot of times the baby's just gonna want to be with mom because, like we said, if you're breastfeeding, breast is best. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Stuff
Yeah.
like that. But that doesn't mean that you know. And sometimes you might think this. I know I did for a little bit. Like, man, my baby don't even like me.
Especially
But
that's that first week after the
yeah,
hospital,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I was like, my
Yeah.
baby don't even like me. But it's just like any other relationship. You have to get used to that person. You have to, spend time with that person, and eventually
Mm-hmm.
they'll know. Oh, okay. Well, if I just want to chill out, I could just go to dad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If
Mm-hmm.
because Senna was always the more bouncing around, active with the girl, everything like that. And I get it because you just got this little person attached to you. You can't do it like if you're active an active person like Senna, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to say, oh man, I really have to sit still in one
Mm-hmm.
place and
That's
you know.
been the hardest. I mean, it's been the hardest part, like, cause breastfeeding, and I'm fully breastfeeding. That's only the only time she takes a bottle is when I'm not home, like yesterday.
Hmm.
And so whenever she's eating, she's attached to me, and a lot of times that leads into sleeping, and then I had to learn to, okay, when she's sleeping and not eating, trying to put her down.
Hmm.
So it's different, two different experiences. But it's been a great experience so far. It's what we're a month and a half, going on 2 months now. And I mean, hey, from from our friends and family, that tell us we're doing a good job, so we'll take them for the we'll take the word for it. Her doctors tell us we're doing a good job, and our instincts tell us we're doing a good job, so we'll stick to the fact that we are doing a good job.
Well, what I'll say as words of encouragement is if you put in the time, you'll start to know, your child,
Mm-hmm.
or if you already have children,
Mm-hmm.
you,
That
you'll,
child.
I mean, you'll be way ahead of the game. You know what I mean? But and as Senna said, you'll start to learn that child,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll just be
Mm-hmm.
able to say, okay, I know what to do for this one, because we were laughing. We were like, well, what if the next baby is, more quiet, like me and Senna, or I mean, more like me, we like, dang, we so loud, things like that.
Oh
But
yeah, because I mean, Isaiah can handle the loud noise. Like,
I actually think she prefers it,
yeah, like she's sleeping right now as we're talking. She's sleeping on Jason's chest right now as we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are family, or you follow me on IG, you see the story I posted of her sleeping while we were playing music in our kitchen. She was in her little mini crib in the living room. Then that was like nearly a 2 hour, right? She slept the whole time. So
Mm-hmm.
she does good. She does very well in the noise, which is great for us because when she's sleeping, we don't have to tiptoe around the house,
Mm-hmm.
which is not something I'm very good at. You know me, and I'm loud. So I get to be myself, and not put her at a disadvantage, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to wrap up here. This, by the way, we should have started this whole thing with, because we're going to be posting this on Healthcare Boulevard. And if you have been a Healthcare Boulevard listener for quite some time and you're like, what are we talking about? What's going on here? I hope you listened to my last episode. It will make so much more sense. Wherein I told y'all, what's going on, and that I won't necessarily be doing much posts as far as Healthcare Boulevard for 2024, and because of the work that goes into it and all of that. But I'm home, and there's nothing stopping us from sharing our experience as a parent with y'all. So that's what we've decided to do, and so we'll be posting these on the same platform as I've been posting the Healthcare Boulevard episodes. So just be mindful of that. But that's it. If you enjoy it, listen, share, like, all that good stuff. And we shall talk to y'all next time. Maybe we'll get more structure next time. Maybe we won't. This is literally just us chatting about life. Anything else, my love?
No, it's Healthcare Boulevard. You already know what's up.
Okay, well, there you go.